Assalamu alaikum. My name is Bushra Noor with the roll number BP1650057. I'm from 4th Prof Morning. My group number is 20 and today I am going to present the case study which is on the left ventricular diastolic dysfunction, which is also known as DHF or diastolic heart failure. So, left ventricular diastolic dysfunction or DHF, what is it? The left ventricular diastolic dysfunction or diastolic heart failure can be defined as the inability of the heart to a normal diastolic volume both during the exercise as well as at the resting, and the arterial pressure does not exceed to the 12 mm of Hg. In this condition, the heart structure is much stiffer than the normal, and there is inability to relax in a normal way, and the pumping ability is also much affected, resulting in less cardiac output. And now the what factors that causes the left ventricular diastolic dysfunction. Number one is the advanced age, female sex, obesity and inactivity of the person. Other included coronary artery disease, hypertension and diabetes. These are the major factors that are responsible for the DHF. The symptoms of DHF include the shortness of breath, last coughing or wheezing, nausea, loss of appetite, tiredness, swelling feet, ankle, legs or abdomen, and dizziness, confusion, fast or irregular heartbeat. Also, there are some other symptoms which may also affect, like the having to pee more often at night and increase heart rate and the increased BP. Left ventricular diastolic dysfunction can be diagnosed with the help of different tests. For example, we can perform the echocardiogram to check the diastolic dysfunction. Also, we can perform the blood test and electrocardiogram. Chest X-ray can also be performed. Exercise test, stress test to check the strength and ability of the patient, and heart catheterization. In this picture, the patient is diagnosed with the help of electrocardiogram. So these are following tests. With the help, we can identify the patient have the left ventricular diastolic dysfunction. We have the treatment. Although the diastolic heart failure can be treated and cured, treatment can help ease the symptoms and improve the way your heart can pump. So we have two types of treatment that can improve the pumping ability of the heart. Number one is the non-therapy pharmacotherapeutic, and number two is the pharmacotherapeutic. So you should take a healthy hard diet and regular exercise, and quiet smoking, control lipid level. In case of pharmacotherapeutic, we can give diuretics which can ease swelling like edemas like problem. ACE inhibitor, ARBs and beta blockers are also prescribed to decrease the blood pressure. Renin angiotensin inhibitor and statins to decrease the cholesterol level and mortality rate, and the CCB means the calcium channel blocker. In this, we have the case study. Here we have a case study, a woman with a 58 years of age, and she has a history of heart failure symptoms, like she has decreased exercise capacity and the shortness of breath and the distented neck veins. She has a minimal peripheral edema, and the suggestive of and history suggested that she has rheumatoid fever when she was a child. Also, the cardiac symptoms are not there when she was younger, and there she has a small murmur type problem, and she is presently controlled with diuretics. She has history of hypertension also. and she has no other medical problem, and her laboratory findings are normal. Her BP is at that time is 155 per 85, and the heart rate is 90 beats per minute. Her cardiac examination revealed with prominent S4 heart sound and the murmur consistent with the both significant mitral regurgitation, the aortic regurgitation. Non-invasive electrocardiography reveals a normal of the 50% of EF ejection fraction, and the prior treatment include the furosemide, that is the diuretics, and most recently at 120 milligrams per day. Now the physician considering adding a beta blocker or the CCB, calcium channel blocker, to control the BP as her BP is high. And so why might this consideration be appropriate, and what are the other non-pharmacotherapeutic consideration to be observed in this for the management of the patient condition? So here we have the soap notes. Number one is the subject. In case of subject, we have the age of the lady, that is 58 years of age. She has female, and then the childhood history. His childhood history suggested that she has rheumatic fever, and the presenting history suggests that she has hypertension, and in the past 5 years she has heart failure symptoms, like she has the decreased exercise ability and shortness of breath and distended neck veins and minimal peripheral edema. Then the current medication she is using is the furosemide, that is a diuretic, 120 milligrams per day. Now after subject we have object. In case of object we have vital signs. In vital signs we have blood pressure and heart rate. Blood pressure and heart rate both are showing the increased value as compared to their normal one, which is showing that there is some abnormality with this patient, and also there is a laboratory finding which are considered to be normal. In case of cardiac examination, it's showing the prominent S4 heart murmur sound consistent with both significant mitral regurgitation and mild aortic regurgitation. And the echocardiography, it reveals 50% normal EF. Now here the S4 heart murmur. There are four sounds which is observed in heart, S1 and S2. Both of these sounds are considered to be the normal one. In case of S3, it is sometimes considered as normal and sometimes abnormal. But whenever there is S4 heart sound, always it is considered to be the abnormal heart sound. And in this patient there is a S4 heart murmur sound, that means there is any kind of abnormality. And the echocardiography is 50%, means it is within the borderline, because 55 to 50% is considered as the borderline. So these are the object. Now the assessment. In case of assessment, that is based on the two things. Number one is the EF, and on the basis of echocardiographic studies. Both of these studies reveals that the patient is undergoing into a condition of left ventricular diastolic heart failure. Also the patient having increased heart rate and hypertension. So both of these factors can be treated, and by the help of these treatment we can also improve the pumping ability of the heart. In case of plain, we have two things, non-pharmacotherapy and pharmacotherapy. In case of non-pharmacotherapy, we have included to maintain the healthy weight and to eat a balanced diet with low dietary intake of salt, and also getting regular cardiovascular exercise and cardiac rehabilitation program. Also we can add some other like the water pills can be added. In case of pharmacotherapy, we have the following program. The most common cause of hypertension then can lead to the left ventricular diastolic dysfunction and decreased cardiac compliance. The recent American College of Cardiology and American Heart Association guideline recommended that the LVDT associated with the hypertension can be treated with reduced blood pressure. and the blood pressure should be within less than 130 by 80 mm of Hg. In this case, the patient has increased blood pressure and elevated heart rate. So in this case, we have to reduce both of these things. An increased blood pressure and heart rate can promote the hypertrophy and the myocardial infarction remodeling and can adversely affect the diastolic dysfunction. Therefore, in this case, along with the furosemide, we are adding another hypertensive agent. We have two choices for adding hypertensive agent. Number one is the beta blocker and number two is the calcium channel blocker. Both of these drugs can reduce the blood pressure and heart rate. Between the beta blocker and the CCB, we are recommending beta blocker as there is more experience has occurred with the beta blocker and some mortality data on their use with DHF patient. So the beta blocker in this case we are going to suggest it, and the medical there are recommended is the metoprolol beta blocker 25 milligrams BID, and furosemide as a diuretic that we was previously giving is 120 milligrams per day, and after that giving of these two hypertensive agent, her blood pressure will normalize, and after that her normalization of blood pressure, her heart rate will also be normalized and will result in the improved pumping ability of the heart, and her the disease condition that is DHF will also be improved. Note, the previous plan, if it is not working, then what are the other strategies we can do for the treatment? We can give the other medication, like we have the fixed dose combination therapies, like we have the all mesartan and the amlodipine in the following dosage form. Also we have the other strategy that is the perindopril and the amlodipine is also available in fixed dosage combination. After, if it is not working, we can go toward the left ventricular assist devices, that is an implantable devices pump blood into the body just as a healthy heart working, and we can bridge it or as a permanent wall replacement. Heart transplant is the last stage when the previous plan is not working, then we can consider the heart transplantation, but it is in very rare cases we consider the transplant. So these are the plan and the note we can do after the treatment. If it is not working, we can go toward the heart transplantation. Thank you very much.